Good afternoon, class. Thank you. You can sit down. Okay. We are going to first look at the questions that you were given in the last exercise. There were 6 questions, I think, on discount. That's question 3, A, B, and C, and question 4, A, B, and C as well. So we'll start from Gabriel at the back. Give us your answer to 3A, please. The exercise on discount, 3A.
Three A is 60 kina.
Okay, 60 kina. Sold at 10% discount for 90 kina. Are you sure? Or is that 3B? Check your working out. Was that the answer for 3B?
Give the answer for 3B. So the real answer was 100 kina.
Okay, 100 kina for A and 60 kina for B. Lester C?
50 kina.
50 kina. Okay, letter D for that we did already. Next one, number 4A, kila.
187 kina.
187 kina is correct. Siegfried, B.
24 kina 80 toya.
Correct, 74 kina 80 toya. C. Livingston.
72 kina.
72 kina. Dad pays 18 kina, are you sure? Dad pays 18 kina for a briefcase discounted by 20% because of the damage. What would be the cost of an undamaged article? Undamaged briefcase?
24 kina.
24 kina, okay, that's better. All right, on commission, number 3, I think, yes. Patrick?
62 kina.
62 kina is correct. Next one on inflation, number 3. Esther?
450 kina.
450 kina is correct. Margaret, on exchange rates, number 2. Geno, what about you?
40 kina.
40 kina. Inflation rate over the past 12 months has been 3%. What did the computer cost 12 months ago if it costs 486 kina now? It can't be, I don't think it can be 40 kina. What about inflation? Oh, sorry. Okay. Number 2. You're supposed to find out which was cheaper and by how much. Whether the watch is paid for in Hong Kong or in PNG. Is it cheaper in Hong Kong or in PNG? Huh? Geno? Rita? Which is cheaper?
Hong Kong.
By how much?
5 kina 50.
5 kina, 50 toya.
50.
Okay, it will have the same value as 40 kina in Hong Kong. If you bought it in Hong Kong, so it will be cheaper by 5 kina 50. Are you sure? Okay. Number 3. How much Australian dollars will you get for 200 kina if 1 kina is 1.4403 Australian dollars? Daniel,
$288.06.
$288.06. Good. Natasha, how many PNG kina will you get for 48,000 yen?
200 kina.
200 kina. Good. Is there any question from those exercises? Question 2 on exchange rate. A mail order company in Hong Kong advertises a Casio watch for $315.28, which includes postage and duty. The same watch is available in PNG for 45 kina 50 toya. Which watch is cheaper and by how much? The exchange rate is 1 kina for $7.882. That was then. That was probably about 10 years ago. 1 kina was equivalent to 7 Hong Kong dollars. Now I think it's less than that. Like 10 years ago, for 1 kina you could get 115 yen. But now you get, for every 1 kina you get 35 yen, which is very low. It's just like 1 kina and 30 toya. Okay, so when you become the Prime Minister of, one of you becomes the Prime Minister of PNG, then maybe it will be okay. 1 kina is equivalent to $7.882. So we have to find out how much, do we have to find out how much 315.28 Hong Kong dollars is equivalent to in kina? Yes? Okay, so how much is $315.28 is equal to in kina? So 1 over x is equal to 7.882 over 315.28. And x is going to be 315.28 divided by 7.882. Which is 40, okay, that's 40 kina. And you just subtract 40 kina from 45 kina, 50 toya, and that means it's cheaper to buy the watch in Hong Kong by 5 kina, 50 toya. Okay, because this is how much it would cost in PNG kina. Okay. Any others? No? All right, then the next thing, there are a few things we are going to look at. We're going to look at import tariff, income tax, and VAT, which is probably similar to sales tax as well. What is import tariff or customs duty? Anyone knows? All the economics people? It's tax, but what kind of tax is it? Import tax, okay, Kyle, you tell us what it is used for. Or when is it charged?
It is charged when goods are imported into the country.
Okay, tax. Okay, imposed for goods that are imported into the country. Okay, sometime, I think it was last year, the IRC people, because this tax is charged by the Internal Revenue Commission, or maybe by the government, but we had Internal Revenue Commission people come and talk to us, and they said that some people do business in PNG, they actually, when they import goods to PNG, they pay them at a very small price, and so that they pay also small tax, a small amount of tax. But then when they sell them to Papua New Guineans, they sell them at a higher price. And they were trying to make sure to find out which people were doing that. But some of the goods that we pay in the country are actually very cheap overseas. But when we pay for them, we pay very large amounts of money. Okay. Next thing we'll look at is sales tax. Sales tax is very similar to VAT. So what's VAT? Value added tax. Okay, what is value added tax? I want one person only to talk, please. Peter, expert man in VAT. What's VAT?
Value-added tax is a tax on goods and services that are purchased.
Okay, for every item that you buy from the shops, an amount of money is included, and that's called VAT. It's a tax that's imposed on goods and services. Okay, you will note that there are some things in the country where there is no VAT added on. But for, let's say, for every item that you buy from shops, there's VAT added on the prices of those goods. Like if you go to RH, when you get your, what's that thing called? Receipt or what? You will say this amount includes VAT of whatever, and it's always 10% of what you get. But if you go to a shop in Buka, for instance, you buy something from the shop, and maybe they've included VAT already, but I don't know. And then if something costs 60 kina, and then they'll add 10% of 60 kina, which is 6 kina, and you pay 66 kina. So you've collected all those items thinking that that's all you will pay, but you will pay extra because they add it on. Whereas for places like Rembun and Hichau, they've already added it on, and they put it on the cost of the items that they display on the shelves. Okay, so different places you do the different, Theodist, it's like Buka. Oh, okay. I think that's deceiving. Okay, but that's what value-added tax is. It's a tax imposed on goods and services that are purchased. Okay, let's just go back first, and then we look at income tax. Listening, please. Okay, what is income tax? Let's have one girl. Garonamo. What do you know about income tax?
Income tax is tax contributed to the expense of the government of our country.
Again? Tax what?
A person who earns income pays tax.
A tax that?
Tax that contributes to the expense of the government.
By whom? Who pays tax?
The income.
Income
Earner.
earners. Okay, tax that an income earner pays to the government of the country. Like if you work in Japan and you're a Papua New Guinean citizen, you still have to pay tax to Japan, and you also have to pay tax to PNG. So if you're a Chinese working in Papua New Guinea, well, maybe, I'm not sure, but you're supposed to be paying tax to PNG and tax to your country as well, so long as you're a citizen of that country. Okay. Now, if you want, listen, if you want to pay less tax, you get married and have 30 children. Provided you work. Okay, there is, in PNG, there is a, what is called, there is a certain amount of money you have to earn before you pay tax. Okay, if you don't want to pay tax, then you only earn the minimum wage, which is, I don't know, I think in PNG is 50 kina, which will last you one day. So those are that's the income that maybe unskilled people will pay, but I think they are trying to talk about that and see if it could be raised. But there is a certain amount of money. If you earn that amount of money, then you don't pay tax. And tax that you pay actually depends on how many dependents that you have as well. Like if you are married and your spouse doesn't work, then they will remove some money from the amount of money that you earn to allow for you to take care of that person. And then apart from that, if you have children, then some more money will be taken off your salary so that that money is not taxed. If you have any left, then that money will be taxed. So if you have a look at your worksheet, it says taxable income is equal to the gross income minus what is called allowable deductions. Those deductions are those that will cater for the people who depend on you. Now, this tax actually is used for a lot of things. Maybe you've learned that in your economics lessons. I don't know if it's done this year or in grade 12. But for instance, the scholarships that you will get after you finish grade 12 that you get from the Commission for Higher Education, a little bit of my salary goes there. So when you go to uni and you misbehave, remember maybe 1 kina from Mrs. Fui is paying for my scholarship. That's true. That's why students at uni, they mustn't misbehave, because we, the income earners, we pay a little bit to the government, and then the government uses that to provide for services to the people of PNG. Okay. Now, another thing as well, if you want to earn a lot of money, then maybe if you're a government worker, depends on where you work or what department you work for, the salaries too are different. Like if you're a secretary for a department, you have all sorts of allowances. Whereas if you're a teacher, you don't have any allowance. You can work from 8 o'clock to 12 o'clock in the night, you don't get overtime. Whereas in other departments, if they work from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m., they will get overtime. But that means they will pay more income tax, because every allowance that you get is supposed to be taxed. Okay. Back to the exercise. That's what we have to do. Question 1 on the exercise on import duty or import tariff. It says for luxury goods, 80% is paid as import duty. That's why luxury goods are very expensive. Clothing is 18%, school uniform is 14%. Now you know why your school uniforms are very expensive, because whoever imports those school uniforms, they have to pay 14% import duty. And sports equipment is 20%. These are the rates from before. I don't know what they are now. But if you look at luxury goods, that you're almost paying 100% back for. That's why they have to charge them high so they can have a bit of money. Anyway, you are going to do number one. If I import a new set of golf clubs which cost 400 kina, how much import duty will I have to pay? Quick, very simple one. Who's got the answer? Solomon? How much import duty?
80 kina.
80 kina. That's 20% off. 400 kina is 80 kina. Okay. Next one. Number one, a customer buys goods in Arawa supermarket. Arawa supermarket probably does not exist anymore. It used to be the best in PNG. The bill comes to 34 kina. What will the customer pay after 2% sales tax has been added? Sales tax is just the same as VAT, very similar. Hekwe, your answer please to number one on sales tax.
68. 34 kina 68.
Okay, 34 kina, 68 toya, that's better. Okay, you will note, I'll just explain a little bit on what you're supposed to do for income tax. It says every citizen who earns income pays income tax as contribution to the expenses of the government of our country. And you can see taxable income is equal to the gross minus deductions or allowable deductions. Income tax is calculated according to the following scale. Okay, if you earn more than 4,000 kina, 30% of 4,000 kina of that amount of money that you earn will be deducted for tax. If you earn more than 4,000 and you earn, let's say, 22,000 kina, then after the 30% has been deducted, 40% of the next 16,000 kina will be calculated for tax. Still, if you earn a little bit more than 20,000, because 4,000 plus 16 is 20, then half of it will be taken for tax. Then you add all of that, that will be the total tax that you will pay. You understand? So let's say by the time that you work, you'll probably be earning 25,000 kina a fortnight, because tax is calculated in PNG every fortnight. If you earn 25,000 kina, first 30% of the first 4,000 kina will be calculated for tax, and that's around 1,200, correct? Okay, how much money do I have left? You take away 4,000 from 25,000, now I've got 21,000 left, which is more than 16,000. So of that 21,000, 40% of 16,000 will be calculated for tax. So 40% of the next 16,000 which is 6,400. I now have 5,000 still left. 50% of that 5,000 will be calculated for tax. So altogether, your tax is going to be for one fortnight, 1,200 plus 6,400 plus 2,500. 10,100? Huh? 10,100? So that is going to be your total tax if you earn 25,000 kina in a year. Sorry, in a fortnight. Sorry, it's in a year. 25,000 kina in a fortnight is a little bit too much. So from your 25,000 kina that you earn in a year, you will pay 10,000 kina of the, what total percentage is that? 10,100 over 25,000 multiplied by 100, and we see how much total percentage is that. Around 40%? Okay. So 40% of 25,000 is calculated for tax. That's a lot of money. That's why when you go to university, please complete your course and don't play around, because like I said, maybe 1 kina for me goes for your, from me goes for your scholarship. Okay, see if you can use the same rate to do question 1. Okay, any answers? Velma, what's your answer?
$8,200.
8,200. Anyone with a different one? Do you all have 8,200? Gabriel?
$6,800.
6,800. Any others? No? Okay. Let's just go back and look at the rates again. 30% of the first 4,000, this person earns 18,000 kina in question 1. So it will be 40% of the first 4,000, which is, 30% of the first 4,000, which is 1,200. This person earns 18,000 kina. How much money is left? Is it more than 20,000? No. That means 50% will only be calculated if you've gone past this, if the amount of money is more than 20,000. So from 5,000 up to, up to 20,000, which is up to the next the next 16,000 only, you calculate 40%. So the amount of money left is 14,000. So you don't get 50% of 14,000. That's a little bit too much because he has not earned more than 20,000. Clear? So you're supposed to calculate only 40% of 14,000. 50%? No, because we're not going to calculate 50% of anything because it's not more than 20,000. You only do that if he earns more. So that's 5,600. So the answer is 6,800 kina. Okay? So now for homework, you are going to do the following questions. The exercise on import tariff, questions 2 and 3, because we've done 1. The exercise on sales tax, 2 and 3 as well. And on income tax, there are 3 questions I think that you have to do, 2, 3, 4 and 5. And then on VAT, question 1, 2, 3 and 4, and VAT is just like sales tax. Okay, the keyword to the pilot teacher is tax. Good afternoon, class. Thank you.